Give us a countdown, Mike.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right. I'm streaming to Twitch, and I'm also recording locally for the archive. 1.
Well, yeah, I gotta upload the local, so.
All right. I'm streaming to.
All right, and I am recording for
Gotta
SoundCloud.
All right. So I've got to mute my stream here, but I'll keep it right here.
I'm gonna load up Stream Chat on my computer, so if we get any comments or anything, I can load that up.
I only have 49 followers on Twitch, but some of them get notifications, and whenever I go online, people sometimes, hopefully, they probably hope that I do RPG Maker MV stuff. So this is somewhat related. Maybe it won't disappoint them too much.
They really hope. Come on, please.
All right, so.
Yeah, because
so
I could stream like Diablo 3, and then they'll get pissed off at me for not playing or not teaching them something in RPG Maker MV.
So we're live then?
Yeah, this is the pre-show. I think we should do like a pre-show, like 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 15 minutes of like banter, and then like once some people jump into the Twitch stream, then we'll basically say welcome everybody to the blah 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 blah. Because there's nobody right now. But of course, this will be a video that we're posting, and we can edit this and take out the beginning or truncate it or leave it in if it's funny or something.
Alright, sounds good.
It's just an idea.
I hope.
We should probably do an
sounds
opening
good,
anyway.
yeah.
Should probably, like, for the record, say, like, opening thing.
I'm sorry, what? An opening, what?
We should probably do, like, our opening intro for, like, the record, eh?
Yeah.
Alright. Hey guys, welcome back to the first ever RPG Maker in RPG General podcast. We actually have a name this time, the RPGCast, capital C of course. And these are the crew. We have Robert, also known as SumRndmDde. We have myself, Skullboneslayer, also known as Matthew. As well, we have Mike, or Michael, coming to you as DriftwoodGaming. So we're going to be streaming today.
Hello. I am
guys?
Robert.
This is exciting stuff.
That is Robert. I am Mike.
That is Driftwood. Oh yeah, here we go.
Drifty and Dad.
He
So
did it.
here we go.
All right, intro. 10 out of 10.
This is good. This is good stuff. So what's going to happen in this pre-show? I've never actually done a pre-show.
We probably should have been doing the past part as a pre-show.
We're already past the pre-show. This is the show.
Yay!
If you do your intros, we're in the show. That's it, you know.
So hello, all the audience. Hi.
Everyone watching
Hello,
on YouTube.
guys. Everybody in the stream.
So
So
we're
who has
hoping
All
topics?
one digit of you.
me and Mike also, me and Drifty both have the topics. As we have two topics and a bunch of questions I'm going to ask you guys as well. I'm going to answer them myself. As well, if you guys have come up with any topics or anything, post it in the Skype chat, and I'll be sure to put those in for the later show.
All right,
So-
Skullbones.
Do you want to start off with the questions, or would you like to start off with the topic?
It's up to you. I think we should maybe talk a little bit about how we first found out about RPG Maker and like how we first got into it or something like that.
SumRndmDde, why don't you start us off?
All right then. So let's see. So I guess so for RPG Maker, I first found out about it in like I can't give it an exact year, I guess, but it was RPG Maker X the Ace. So I started out pretty late, but I mean that was pretty amazing. I mean I got into that. It was like wow, amazing. I gotta think like. Because, like, to be completely honest, I cannot remember for my life what kind of thing that happened that got me into that. But yeah, wow, I'm doing great here. Okay, so
That's fine.
That's all good, man.
yeah, so
All
yeah,
right.
RPG Maker, yeah, yay.
Sweet,
Alright,
sweet.
Drifty, why don't you go?
Okay, so when I was in high school, like, you know, way back in the Stone Age, I had some people who were interested
no one
in.
knows your age, just so you know. So that's a huge.
I don't
inside
look
joke.
my. It's great, yeah, it is, and I'm okay with that. What we're gonna do is is just let people guess my age, and then we'll see if we have any comments on
People
that.
are gonna
Some
be
people,
like 21, 22.
107.
yeah, you're
That's my
close. You're
guess.
close.
You're
Oh, there
close.
we go.
Back
You're
in
in the
high
right
school,
century.
yes. Back in high school, I mean, you can kind of tell if you like look at the salt and pepper going on. But
Salt and pepper.
anyway, my friend Michael Garcia and I we used to write like lore bits and little bits of storyline for different stuff. And when we were looking on the internet for games and different lore, we found RPG Maker, and we're like, "What's this game?" And we thought it was a game, you know. And so we started to load it up, and we're like, "What the hell is this? This is like an editor or something?" And then we figured out that it's like actually a game maker, as the name implies, because we were idiots. But it was like we were super stoked over it, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's make a game. So we already had pages of lore and different storyline stuff written out, and so we would like type it up into the chat log or into the text boxes, and we made a really beautiful intro, like 5-minute intro, which is not a good intro. You don't want your intro super long with lots of text. We thought it was super cool at the time, but it wasn't really that impressive if I look back on it in hindsight. But you know, we figured out how to make animations, so we made like waterfalls, and we had like parallel processes going on, processes, and processes. And anyway, basically, we just started working on our project together, and we started making simple stuff. And the game was terribly imbalanced, and it was a big, long visual novel type thing. But that was where I started with RPG Maker. From then on, like I knew about the software, and I'd look online for what other people have done with the game with the RPG Maker, and there's a place called RPGmaker.net, and that's where you can like post all of your creations, and people have posted their videos of them playing their game, and they post like screenshots of the game and descriptions, and they can upload their game so people can download it for free. It's really cool. Check it out if you want to look at like a huge archive of RPG Maker games from all the way, like 15 years ago.
All right.
So yeah, that's basically how I got into RPG Maker. And the first one that I played was, I think it was 95 or 2000. But I remember the first one that I really started making decently looking games was 2003, because that's when we had the first side view battle system. And I thought, wow, Final Fantasy, right? Like that was a big, big thing for me anyway.
All right. I guess I'll go. My first. I guess I'll start. My first RPG Maker I ever used was VX Ace. I'm kind of new to the game, but I first got into it. I used to try using Game Maker Studio. I tried using that. I downloaded like the free copy a long time ago, and I tried using it, but I don't know. It was like, it's not that it was difficult, but it was like, it took too long, and everything was mixed up, and I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it. So close. I'm in high school now. I'm in my 11th grade, and I'm 17 for all the. Yeah, I'm okay with saying my age. You guys don't have to guess for me, but so I went in, and me and my friends were working on a culminating project a couple months ago now. It was probably in about September, and we were looking for a good maker studio, a game maker studio. So, or not the actual thing itself, but like we wanted a game maker, and we went around the internet and we were trying to find one, and I found RPG Maker VX Ace. So I was like, all right, this seems pretty decent. I'll download the free trial. I'll give it a shot and see what's going on. And so I downloaded it, and I got like hooked. I Every single class day we were working on our project. Our project was called the Cursed Mirror. It was really cool. Actually, our friend RPG Don did a playthrough of it on his channel. If you guys want to go check that out, it was really fun, and that's pretty much how I got into it. That was only a couple months ago.
Cool.
Nice.
So you're relatively new.
Yeah. All right. So we covered what was the first RPG Maker we all used: VX Ace, and XP. You said
2000.
2000. All right. What was the first game you ever made on it, and did it work out? I already answered that. The Cursed Mirror. It did work out. RPG Dawn did a copy. you guys go. We'll start with Drifty this time.
No, it didn't work out at all. It was a disaster. Like I said, the first game that I tried to do was like it turned into a visual novel, which was not what I was trying to make it into be. It was a lot of storyline, really, really, in depth. Story between the history all the way up to like his master and his master and his master, and it just keeps. And if you like reading a lot of like lore books, you might like the game. But if you were looking for like a JRPG with the good battle system and balanced, it wasn't that.
No.
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
I don't really remember the name of it. It might have been like Anubis Disciple or Anubis Principle or so. I don't know, something like that. I think it had the word Anubis in it.
All right, so I guess it's my time to share my very embarrassing RPG Maker game story, which involves my little younger brother.
Anubis.
I'm sorry?
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Skullbones, did you say something?
All right, so this is your first game?
Oh, is Skullbone lagging? Oh, hello?
I think so.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, it's Skullbone.
No, I'm just confirming this is your first game?
Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
if you can hear us.
He's frowning. He knows.
Am I?
You can.
Oh,
You just have a little bit of delay.
Oh no. This isn't good.
I think the apocalypse is coming.
He has a thumbs up.
I can
Is
fix
that
that.
Oh, he just spoke that movie his mouth.
Yep. I think we're in one of those Japanese fighting films. You should not win.
Oh.
You should be able to hear me.
I can hear you. It's just like a Japanese fighting delay.
Yeah, the audio is just not syncing up at all.
All right, how am I now?
Say something?
Good. All right, yeah, it says I was...
I don't know.
Oh,
I think it could work.
idea. Hi.
Okay, we lost Skullbones.
Oh, wait. It's loading.
Okay, anyway, while he's loading... well, I can hear you clearly.
I turned off my webcam, and...
Well, while you're solving that, I will tell my story, I guess.
That's a good idea, yes.
All right,
Robert.
so where
That's
was
good.
this? So yeah, I first got RPG Maker XV8 with my younger brother, and so the first thing I did was absolutely nothing because I am super lazy and I have no creativity whatsoever. My brother, on the other hand, he starts creating this like RPG, like your stereotypical basic first RPG ever made, and it actually turned out to be like this whole thing we spent a year making. And I won't say it turned into anything special. It's filled with copyrighted music, our real names. It was quite a fun time, but it turned out to be like a 5-hour experience of just like a huge, never-ending row of trees and desert and just going through trying to defeat the evil bad guy, which was just the default bad guy sprite, the big guy. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, he had the dragon. That might have been it. He was very, very massive, very intimidating, very, very scary, and also very not original. But he was there. He was amazing. He had quite a nice personality, eventually, like at the 3-hour mark. And
did it give you nightmares?
Don't tell anyone. That's very traumatizing. I remember one night I woke up and the ceiling was gone. It was just a big.
Did it give you nightmares?
Oh, is that more lag? Well, we'll ignore that lag for now. And poor Skullboneslayer just can't do it. Yeah, so I guess there's not much to say except that game is still on my laptop. Maybe one day I'll just remove all the stuff and play it.
I'm trying.
It's okay. It's okay. Just never say anything, and we'll be okay. And so yeah, so
it's gonna make for a great podcast.
I would make a video of that.
It
well, that's pretty cool, Robert. I'd like to try that game sometime. And
Yes,
if you remove all the copyright music, I might be able to make a video on it.
And that's I can restart the call.
Is that okay? Will that be okay?
We might lose video feed on all of us.
Can hear me still.
We can hear you. I don't know if you can hear us.
it's still out of sync and very laggy.
It might be upload rate from Skullbones'
Yeah, it's
internet.
severely delayed though. It's severely delayed.
It's probably your upload speed. Or well, if it's delaying the audio to him, it could be download speed.
I don't know what any of those terms are, but I'll take your word for it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just started Skype a week ago. Yay.
All right.
I've had this problem before, and yours is fine. It's my Skype. Huh. Oh. Well.
Check the messages.
So yeah.
Alright.
So
It's a Skype glitch.
Ugh. Does sound
So,
good.
do you want to restart the call? Is that what we're gonna do?
All right. He's nodding yes.
Okay, let's restart the call real quick. Go ahead and close it, Skullbones, if you can hear it. All right. So,
All right. How am I now?
I hear you clearly.
I knew that would work. It's a
All
common
right.
Skype glitch. It's a common Skype
Yeah.
glitch. It's if you're using too much lag and RAM on your computer at one time, it'll start delaying it so that you can still be part of the call, even though you won't be it won't be current
Like-
real time. It won't be real time. It's a common Skype glitch. All you have to do is restart the call. I just didn't know if that would ruin the podcast or anything.
Yeah, we're fine. It only was down for a few seconds.
Yay.
Perfect. I just gotta do one thing.
All right. So let's move on to our next topic. I think.
Good call.
What was the first game? Well, that we already talked about that one. Okay, here was on our notes here. It says if RPG Maker was Horror Maker or Action/Adventure Maker, would you still use it? Why don't you start, Skullbones?
Sure. I would absolutely use it. I think I've been a lot of people trying to incorporate RPG Maker for a horror game or action adventure game like Call of Duty, or Outlast. Outlast is a good horror game, but it's really hard to do because you have those cute anime sprites. You know, they look so awesome in the fighting, right? And kung fu stuff, but it doesn't really work out for a horror maker. And if you use something like Game Maker Studios or Unity, you can make some of that not easily, but you can do it. If RPG Maker came out with a copy of that, or they just did that in general, I would absolutely love it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So I guess I am next once again. And so
We'll go
yeah.
clockwise. That way we never get tracked up.
Clockwise. So wait, from my perspective, who would be the person I go off? Is okay.
From my perspective, it's me, Robert, Mike.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So I guess I'll try to memorize that. Anyway, yeah. So horror maker or what was the other thing? Like action.
Action adventure maker.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Different genres.
I know. I mean, if it's just like how RPG Maker is right now, like simple to use, but at the same time, you're pretty much no limit to what you can do as long as you learn the advanced stuff like JavaScript and all that stuff. And that's what's really important because, I mean, even with all like the limitations of creating an RPG and stuff, you aren't really limited to an RPG. So if they did create something like a horror maker or an action maker, would it really be limited to horror action? And yeah, so I mean, like I would definitely use it, I guess, because that way I'd be like, all right, I have a horror game, but what's stopping me from making like a horror RPG or maybe something that's completely not horror at all? I mean, yeah. So
well, you don't have to have. You can, I guess, in a horror maker, it would be default dark lighting, right? Or it would be default like stuff like that. You can always just turn up the brightness. You can get rid of the enemies, and then you could put in a storyline. I guess you can make that RPG maker.
yeah, your own custom sprites can make anything pretty much.
Absolutely.
So,
And what about yourself? Drifty?
I would definitely use it. I kind of use any RPG. I mean any game engine in general. I use Game Maker. I use Construct too, even though I don't really use it very often. There's this app builder engine. Like I've used Unity before, which I completely don't know how to use it. I watched some tutorials and I'm like, what do I do? I don't get it. But it's like in more advanced Game Maker, you know, with 3D sprites and models and stuff. But yeah, I plan to move on to Unity, but I want to spend some time on Game Maker and make my tutorial list expand to Game Maker. But yeah, if RPG Maker was a horror maker or action adventure maker, I would kind of like to see an action adventure maker, like a Diablo maker. You know what I mean? If you guys play Diablo. I'm sorry.
An FPS maker, like first-person shooter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big FPS fan, but I did like Halo 3 a lot. So I would definitely I would use any game engine, just to see how it is, if it wasn't too expensive or um,
Kind
if
of
it
like
was free.
RPG Maker is.
Oh,
MV is a little pricey, but yeah, I mean,
It's up there.
I think it's
Almost
worth it. I mean,
$100.
it's yeah. When I
definitely.
pre-ordered it, when I pre-ordered it, it was $80, and that came with all the DLC and everything. Um,
See, that's what bugs me. Okay, I pre-ordered it as well. I think I think some random dude did it as well. But I live in Canada, as a lot of people know, and so Canadians have to pay more for U.S.
I
prices. So I had to
right.
pay just under $100.
Oh,
Yeah, I heard that it was a different price depending on where you lived in the world. Like
Yeah.
some people had got it after the money transfer rate was different. I'm sorry, it was like they ended up paying like $40 for the entire package.
oh, where do I go to get that?
Right? I don't know, but I think in some countries what they do is reduce the price because they won't be able to make as many sales because the average income is less
Oh,
in some countries, so they reduce the price in those countries
It's all
so
about the
that they
stock
can make
exchange.
sales.
It's all in the stock
I see.
exchange. When prices go down for other countries, it drops for others. We should probably stay on track though. We don't want to end up like last podcast.
I
All
think
Oh,
right.
we're doing fine. This is pretty relevant topics.
All right.
yay!
I'll go ahead and load up the next question for
Okay.
some random dude.
All right.
What are some of your favorite features of RPG Maker MV specifically?
Huh. Well, there weren't. To be honest, there weren't that many added into MV, was there? There was just the upgraded
This.
character customizer. There was the new switch to JavaScript, which I'd
All
have to
right,
say. I
then
mean,
we'll make it all of RPG Maker. How about that? Then what's your favorite? What's your favorite?
I guess it definitely have to be the script manipulation. I mean, I'm not the most what do you call it, experienced person in that. I've only just gotten to like RPG scripting recently, but I mean like
Right.
it's like I said before, it's really awesome. You can turn just what a normal RPG would be into anything you like, and it takes what
Yeah.
would be just a normal beginner's like very low level, not anything special creation program, and turn it into something where like you can create your own game, your own mechanics, along with your own sprites that you can import. And it turns out no longer are we just talking about like this boring default RPG Maker game. Now I have this professional looking game that's like, all right, good, we can make this. This is great. And so
Yeah.
yeah, it's just all about the coding and what you can do. And
Absolutely.
also, yeah, so sorry, but yeah, I forgot to say, but yeah, I mean, the biggest part of that would be the plugins, because then you
The
not only create your
JavaScript.
own stuff, yeah, because then you can share
Mm.
with other people. And that creates a whole like new level of community. I mean, wouldn't you say like the RPG Maker community is like by far the most like what do you call like
I mean, it's the most friendly community I have
most
ever
connecting
been
thing between the
accompanied.
community would be definitely be the scripts, because it's not like art where you need to have like a certain like level of like ability and years of learning to make something really good. For scripts, you got like it takes a while, but it's not as difficult, and anyone can do it. And yeah, so
I think I don't know. I think I wanna be the devil's advocate and say being a programmer or a scripter, as you put it, is a similar art form in that it takes a lot of practice and learning on how to certain techniques. So I would
I
say that
completely agree.
it's an equal amount of dedication and time effort have to be put into to be able to program your own scripts. To you it's easy, and I understand where you're coming from. You think because it's easy to you, it's easy to everybody, but it's not. A lot of people have
No, no,
no
no,
clue.
no. I'm just gonna stop you right there. He does not think it's easy. He was trying to teach me last night one on one how to program in like all the terms and everything in MV, and he was having such a hard time trying to just get everything.
but correct me if I'm wrong, but like if you go into like the RPG Maker forums, you go to like the art section. I mean, like yeah, there's stuff there, but like it isn't as intense and like updated and as like user what do you call it, interactive, or like there aren't as many people in like the art section creating art as much as there is people in the like the plugin section creating plugins. Like we
That's
have
kind of sad.
Yanfly, we have Yanme, we have like Works, we have all these people who are famous for their plugins, and we hardly have anyone who's like known for their art and stuff. And it's not because there's no good people, it's
We
just
have a
that there's
Kashix.
not like yeah, we have him, but that's like one of
That's
out of
true. It's
who? Like
yeah.
yeah,
There's
And
very
that's kind of
I.
sad actually, because I need more tile sets personally.
exactly. That's the thing. couldn't you say that making tile sets a lot harder than making scripts and stuff? Because for tile sets,
Personally, yes.
that takes time, and like it takes time to like draw everything, make everything perfect. I mean, yeah, you're right, Drifty. Like, yeah, I'm probably just biased against but biased for scripting because I actually have a lot of well, not a lot of experience. I have experience there, and it takes like maybe an hour or so to create something. But yeah, once you do learn both things, at the end of the day, scripting is still going to take a lot more time. I mean, a lot less time to do than creating such like a really high quality like tile set or sprite.
At the same time about that though, you
Yeah.
also have someone like Echo 607. She does amazing things. I think she's an artist because if you look at her characters, she has custom characters for just her tutorials. She has
I
custom
know it's
characters for her games. Like if you look at that, she also probably thinks the same about programming though. She'll think, okay, making a character or making a tile set, it's a lot quicker than doing a plugin because she doesn't know how to do a plugin. As far as I know, anyway. Sorry if I'm wrong about that. But at the same time, she doesn't know how to do a plugin, but she does know how to do art. So it probably takes her way less time than it would take one of us.
Right.
point.
She would probably be biased the opposite direction from Robert.
Exactly. All right, let's keep on this question. Drifty, what do you think is your favorite feature of RPG Maker?
There's
MV
several
rather.
feet. There's several features of MV that I was really hyped for. I could say it that way. I was hyped for. Definitely the hype is real. Definitely, like the higher pixel density was a big plus for me. Everything looks cleaner, more crystal clear because you have more pixels in each sprite.
Right.
Um, I think the fact that we were able to export to Android and HTML5 was a big selling point for me. However, there's a lot of disappointment that I had when it came to actually getting my game onto Android. I was finally able to put my game onto my tablet, my Shield, but it took literally like maybe 4 or 5 weeks of trying to get it to work, because I would have to install this framework and then this program and then this backbone software, and then I would have to adjust my pathing, my the pathing for all of those files. I'd have to get all the SDKs, everything set up right. Luckily, there's a YouTuber called he who made a program called Tom's Pathomizer, and he's a programmer, and he made a program that makes it so that once you have everything installed, all you have to do is make a backup of your original path, and then run the program, and it'll automatically path those 5 programs that you needed to path, and create the if you've linked your SDK right. I'm going off topic here, but it's sort of relevant. So I know a
No,
lot of
it's
people
relevant.
I know a lot of people are interested in putting their game on their tablets and stuff.
Or on
So it
Google Play or even App Store.
right, and
Yeah,
the problem is it's a nightmare. It's really really hard. It takes a lot of
They
things
need to
that you
make
got
it
to
more
do.
user friendly.
They do. I absolutely agree with you. They should have made a certain application that was built into the package, or maybe include it later on. That'll
Send out an
eliminate
update.
some of those. I'm sorry, like an
Send
update.
out an update that
Yeah,
makes it
if
user friendly.
they were to send out an update, yeah, definitely that would be a cool thing of them to do, to something that will let your Android or iOS device read the www folder clearer without having to find an external third-party source of making that executable type thing. Now, I don't know too much about programming for Android. I've made some Game Maker games for it using the Game Maker Studio. You see, I actually paid $150 for the Android package to develop for Android. Yeah, this was last year when I first started using Game Maker.
Cool.
Uh, like I said, that was a big selling point when I found out that RPG Maker was MV was going to be able to go to Android. I was immediately sold on it. And well, actually, I was like intrigued, and then I saw some Yanfly videos. So Yanfly basically sold it to me. If it wasn't for Yanfly
yes,
making his
Yanfly
videos,
made
I
it
wouldn't have
possible.
bought it really. I think it was when he came out with the action sequences, and I was like,
That was so. That was a magical moment. I will
right?
never forget that. I was like,
I feel left
wow.
out. I didn't watch that.
Oh,
I was hooked as soon
the
as like I
countdown was
saw.
amazing. Just every day something new. Just at like 3 p.m. and I was like, yes, come on.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
definitely. when Yanfly started putting out videos every day, I was hooked onto it big time, just like Robert said. So that was one of the big features that sold it to me was the ability to export to HTML5, Android, iOS, all of that. And you know, of course, the fact that you can RPG Maker has stigma to it, you know, where it has a small resolution, and you can tell by the pixel quality, like right off the bat, most of the time you can tell, oh, this was made in RPG Maker just by looking at a few screenshots. With MV, the capability you have using JavaScript and the higher resolution, excuse me, later on down the line, there's going to be games, especially when we get like a particle engine and some other plugins that utilize the functionality of MV. You're going to be wondering, scratching your head, was this game made with MV? I don't know. I can't tell. You know, pretty soon you're gonna the ability of the plugins and everything that MV can do. I would say a year from now, people are gonna have a hard time distinguishing if a game was made with RPG Maker or not. And that was something I saw right off the bat, and I was like, I want to get into RPG Maker again. You know, like every time it comes out with a new version, I would get into it. But this time, since I had a channel that I was starting, I'm like, okay, well, I know a lot about this. Maybe, and I was watching a lot of the YouTube Creator Academy things, and I recommend that for all people who are starting channels.
Yeah, you told me
Lo-
about that. Not last night. Next. Well, no, it was yesterday. You recommended that to me. I gotta check that out still.
there's a lot of good information that they give you in there, and it's of course networking is one of them. But I kind of forgot what I was about to say. Oh, the YouTube Creator Academy, brain fart.
It's all
Um,
good. We've all had
yeah,
that.
they talk about everything about from lighting to from your camera to networking and lots of good information. But I don't want to digress too much. Maybe we can move on to our next topic.
I haven't actually said it yet. I haven't said mine.
Oh, Skullboneslayer
Oh,
missed out.
oh, okay.
It's all good. It's
I,
all
I
good.
I'm sorry. I derailed the show.
It's
Oh, that's
all
good.
good.
That's what we
Don't
want.
worry about it. I would definitely say one thing that me and Drifty actually have in common: the Android and web. That really sold me on it. I agree with you there. But as for my favorite features, one of my favorite things about MV is they brought back side view battling. I
Yeah,
Yes.
love
like
that.
2003. That's yeah.
I love that. I'm so happy they brought that back. It kind of was like beforehand, it was like Pokemon. It was like you're
Mhm.
fighting your enemy. It's like
Yeah.
a Zoom bat or something, bat or something just comes up. All right, you fight it. Now it's like you're actually in the battle and you can see your characters fighting, and it's really cool. My other favorite feature is the character generator. As I showed in my last video, you can literally have an infinite character. You can never go wrong. And you don't need to be an expert at arts like Echo or someone. You can just do it because you know what to do. It's just a click away from your favorite character ever. I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, definitely. And if you
I,
do go ahead, Robert.
oh, no, sorry. You go ahead.
If you do the first person combat correctly, you know, it's a great combat system and if like the Dragon Warrior series illustrates that, it can be or Dragon Quest depending on where you're from. It could be a really engaging combat system first person, you know. But I have to agree with Skullbones in saying that the third person, or I'm sorry, not third person, but side view battle is much more recognizable to me as like I was a fan of the Dragon Warrior Dragon Quest series, but I was a bigger fan and still am a bigger fan of the Final Fantasy series, even though I've been disappointed in recent years. Of the 13 was a big disappointment, but that's off to the side.
Actually, funny thing, when I first got into VX Ace, I thought that's how they made Pokemon games because everything was so similar.
Like they use the RPG Maker VX
Yeah,
engine.
when I first started using it, I actually thought that that's what they used to make Pokemon, like Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Pearl. I'm like, oh my god, billions of dollars. Here we go.
We're gonna be rich, boys.
Oh yeah. All right. Next question.
Yay.
We are some. All right. Which one do you prefer? And this time we're going to be starting with Drifty. Would you prefer Steam RPG Maker or client download RPG Maker? So the one you get off Steam or the one that you download from the website?
Well, I actually pre-ordered it on Steam, but if I had to go back and do it again, I would go right from their website because they give you a Steam key. So why not have two copies?
Like exactly same thing happened to me. I got off of Steam thinking like it wouldn't
I
be a
didn't
big
get a
deal.
Steam key.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't
You
get a
didn't.
Steam key with my
Didn't they say they
pre-order.
would?
Yeah, they advertised as it comes with the
Yeah, you get
Steam
both.
key. Mhm.
I never got
Check
a
your
Steam
spam.
key.
Wait, are you sure they checked your email? Did they make everything look? Because I'm
I'm
pretty
gonna
sure that
go
was the thing,
on
right?
after this. I'm gonna go on after this and find out. But I never got a Steam key.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, besides that, let's say you
Yeah,
didn't
go
get a
ahead.
Steam key. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I got it with Steam just like what Drifty did, and I mean, it's not bad. It hardly makes a difference, but you know, it's pretty annoying to have like every time you want to open up RPG Maker, brings the pop up, loads. If you're not connected to the internet, it's like, do you want to go into online mode, offline mode? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't, I just bring it up. I don't care.
Can I just RPG Maker today?
Exactly. It's like I want to start a video. It takes 5 minutes just to get the thing open. I was like, oh. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, I haven't actually touched the one from the website, so maybe it's just as bad. You have to tell me. I don't know.
No,
But
I when I pre-ordered, I got the one from the website directly, because they sent me a email about it, and I downloaded that. I was well, when I bought it, they said that you got like these special DLCs. You got the plug-in kit, you got the more tile sets, more characters, everything like that. And because of that, I was like, all right. Then it said you got the same thing on Steam, but I'm like, well, I think it's better if you download it from the actual stores themselves because Steam takes a cut of every single thing that you purchase.
that's a good
So
Right.
point.
if you download from the website, you're giving RPG Maker more and you're helping them out. As well, you get the hard copy yourself. So if internet dies and it's down for a whole week, the way Steam works is if you don't have internet for more than 5 days, it locks you out.
Really.
But if your internet goes down and you have a hard copy, you're free to go. So I would definitely like to get the Steam version just for lols, but I would definitely prefer to get the download copy.
I won't make the same mistake twice. I'll tell you that. When you
Yeah.
get like RPG Maker MV Ace, oh, it's all gonna be website.
MV Ace.
It's
MBAs.
gonna happen. I
It's a
promise.
thing.
Probably will. You know what?
RPG, pay attention. Yeah. All right.
Oh wait, can I ask a really random question? Because I'm an RPG Maker
Absolutely.
noob for like old RPG games. What was the difference between RPG Maker VX and RPG Maker VX Ace? Because I never looked into that, and I have no idea. I was like, what happened there?
Well,
Drifty, you got
VX.
one.
I don't really. I can't tell. VX came out in 2007. VX
Mhm.
Ace came out in 2011. So there's
Oh,
4 years in between VX and VX Ace. And you would imagine there'd be some revolution in between that
yeah.
time. But honestly, I don't even know what was changed in between that time. I wasn't heavily using it in between VX and VX Ace. When VX Ace came out,
Just to stay
I
relevant.
started it. Yeah, just enough to like know what it is, and when VX Ace came out, I started using it more though. It kind of like revived the genre for me, and MV did it more so.
Yeah, so
Can
I
I
guess they were
actually add
successful.
something? Can I add something to my earlier thing where we said our favorite things about RPG Maker? I want to add another thing to my list. 3-layer modeling.
Oh,
That is amazing.
Yeah,
I just want to
can,
add that because I think that's amazing.
it used
I'm
to
look.
be.
Oh,
Sorry.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. It used to be where you had specific layers for your draw layer. You had your bottom and your middle,
Yeah,
and your
I
top
remember
layer
that.
was like usually a venting. But in MV, what they did was made it so that your draw layer auto layers, so you can stack trees in ways that you never could before. And that was a big bonus. I remember when I found out about that, I was like, this is gonna simplify making maps, which is a weak point for me.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I gotta be honest. I heard about that. I was like, I have no idea what everyone's talking about. So I guess this is good. Because I've heard about like how XP is supposed to be like better with tiling as opposed to XV Ace and MV. And like you said, was that because like you could specifically layer each individual layer to have like a top layer, middle layer, bottom layer?
XP was good because you could specify layers. Yeah, VX lacked some of the things that previous RPG makers had. They liked
Hmm.
that layering, the tiled layering thing,
Huh. Wow. I
tiered
wonder if they
layered
have that.
system.
That'd be nice. I guess. Hmm.
All right. Do you guys want to move on to the next question?
Bring it
Sure.
on.
All right. Why don't we start with Drifty since I've got to be the first one to answer? Drifty can tell us.
All right. So our question is, what is your favorite game RPG or not, that was made with an RPG Maker engine.
Right. So, I can't really say too much about this game. Robert knows
Oh
about it a
no.
lot.
Oh wait, what?
Um, it's kind of a secret project I'm working on right now with another RPG maker guy, and
Secret project.
it's a secret project. But there's so much into it already. It's got to be my favorite game by far. I mean, I haven't played a lot of RPG Maker that I know of anyway, but I would have to stick with the one we got right now because it's got after we showed Robert everything we were doing, we added a lot more neat features and animations. So now it's got to
Okay.
be my favorite by far.
Oh.
Can we get a title? Any
Yeah,
hint?
come on.
The
What do you
title
call?
is Nawa Academy.
Nawa?
Now NOWA Academy.
All
I
right,
want
so.
beta access. Where can I pre-order?
Uh, Listen, so send it to this PayPal account, and it's an off-sea account, so be careful.
It's my account in Dubai.
Off the Cayman Islands. All right.
All right.
So,
Yes.
Robert, what
So
about you?
I'm gonna hate to do this to you guys, but I'm gonna be completely honest. I have never actually played an RPG
It can be
Maker
one of
game,
your own games.
and then, well, not even one of my own games. Oof, I've never actually played an RPG Maker game made by anyone else or myself that I can really say I enjoyed. And I'm gonna be
Wow.
completely honest. I haven't gone out of my way to find any. That's probably one of the main reasons, because I'm a big victim to the stereotypical RPG game of like it's gonna have the default actors, the default tile sets, and I'm thinking to myself like, oh, do I really want to play that? And I occasionally I do find something, I download it, I play it for like 5 seconds, adds like the default title screen. I'm like, oh, I don't want. And then, but I know there is RPG Maker games that are amazing out there. It's just that
Oh yeah.
I don't actually play a lot of RPGs to begin with,
Can
and that's
everyone who's watching this stream right now? I don't have it open, so I don't know if there's actually people watching right now.
There
But
are a few.
whoever's oh perfect. The people that are watching the stream right now, as well as people who are going to watch this when I upload it to my channel, please send Robert some beta games so he can beta test them on his channel, and I promise I will make him play them.
okay. Okay. Are
Robert,
they?
you need to. Robert, could you go to rpgmaker.net and just look around at? I bet you'll find at least two or three games that look genuinely interesting to you that don't have all default built-in, sprites and animations and stuff. You might
Wonderful.
recognize some animations because most games use similar animations. I make custom ones because I noticed that, but a lot of people, even when they build like pay games you have to buy, I'll see default animations with custom sprites and stuff. But
Well, there's nothing wrong with putting it for sale. Then you have a bigger account balance for your next game and your sequel or whatever. So I don't think
oh,
there's anything wrong with that. As
no,
long
I
as
didn't
you
say
can
there was
start to
anything wrong with it. All I was saying is that you'll see default animations even in paid games. Yeah, definitely nothing wrong with it. Didn't say that.
absolutely.
Um, Go to rpgmaker.net though, Robert. If you've
I'm
never played,
going
I'm
to.
shocked. I am shocked, man.
I'm
As much
sorry.
as you are in the scene, the MV RPG Maker
People lied
scene,
to you.
uh, yeah, it's a shocking, revealing
I know
thing that
so
to
much
say
things.
that you've never played a game.
I'm gonna go
I
on Twitter
guess
and tweet this.
Oh
Breaking
no.
news.
Well,
it's
Okay,
like
I'm not going to. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
oh, you aren't. It's more publicity
Okay,
for
fine. I'll go
me.
on my phone right now.
Oh,
Look.
okay, okay. Let's. All right then. Yes, let's ruin my reputation forever, and also give me like 3 subscribers. Yay! So I
I'll
mean,
send
yeah,
some of
I'm
mine over to you.
like I said before. I mean,
Actually,
it's not my. I haven't. It's my fault because I haven't really gone out and actually looked for any RPG Maker games. Because I guess I'm not much of a gamer. I guess you could say like I play like very big games. Like I play Pokemon. I play Fire Emblem, but I've never really been into
those are
like.
great games.
I
Good
know, I
choices.
know. I love those games. I've been playing like Fire Emblem If it came out, or Fates. I mean, it came out recently. I love that game so much. But like, I'm not really big on like smaller games. I haven't really played any much indie games besides Undertale, which you probably guessed. But that was amazing. But yeah, I've never like gone onto Steam, got any Steam games, and yeah, I'm not much of that kind of person. I really got to do that though, because I I I I know there's amazing stuff out there, but I just I don't have the I don't I'm bad at finding it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, RPGmaker .net has a ton of free games, and most of them are not going to interest you, according to for what I can tell. But there will be some that will interest you
Wow,
genuinely.
savage.
No, I'm just being real. But
Pause
yeah,
Wi-Fi. Create an RPG Maker 2000 free. All right, let's check that. That's like a
I,
dog. It looks beautiful.
Driftwood, why don't
there
we
are some great games.
why don't we go over to you? What's your favorite game made in RPG Maker, RPG or non?
Okay, so my favorite game made in RPG Maker was originally started in VX, and then it got transported into VX Ace when Ace came out. And it's a game by White Giant Studios called Last Dream. And it is by far my favorite by by a mile, the best RPG Maker game I've ever played. And they sent me beta access to their expansion, which is about to release, and they just released their, well, I don't know if they've released it. They released it to the beta testers, the video talking about how many people are involved in the expansion. For their second game, Last Dream 2, they're going to move it. It started off in VXAce, but it's like halfway through the process, so they're gonna move all assets into MV. But Last Dream is an amazing game. I put over 100 hours in it. I bought it in Steam on Steam it was like a $15 game or a $10 game, and it was on sale, so I got it for $4.99. Bought it, wasn't expecting much. I wasn't expecting too much. But then as soon as I got into it, the level of customization, and now if I look at it that I have MV, I'll be less impressed because this was several years ago, right? Before MV was even heard of, before it was even out. And VX Ace had just come out, so it was new. It was the newest engine from RPG Maker. Had tons of character customization. It reminded me a lot of Final Fantasy 1 in a way that you can you build your own party at the beginning, and your heroes don't actually have any dialogue. It's like you play the heroes and you make the story as you go along. Of course, there's a storyline you progress through, but your heroes don't actually say anything. It's just implied. The player puts their own dialogue in basically, and the game has incredible replayability, a very customized fishing system. You could be an engineer, which is basically like a chemist who has all their abilities, the item use abilities, the strength of them are doubled. You would get items that would do damage, and if you're an engineer, you had the right specs, you can do a double damage with those items. So you could either decide if you wanted to have a white mage in your party or an engineer in your party, and you could build your party. And I think there was a warrior, there was a black mage, a red mage, uh, uh, an engineer.
A knight, a monk, a thief, a hunter, a gray mage, a white mage,
Wow.
a black mage, and an engineer.
Yeah,
Intense.
definitely recommend that game. That's an amazing game. It'll be less impressive now because of MV has spoiled us. We're
Absolutely.
used
In
to
5 years
thicker.
from now, then we're gonna look back on the games we're making now and be like, "What were we thinking? That's so bad." But do you know what? What we have right now, this is top quality we can get.
3D games.
Oh
Right,
my!
but I do want to
3D
plug.
maker.
I do want to plug White Giant since we're on topic and it's relevant. Um, uh, it's pertinent to the situation. I want to plug White Giant Studios. They're an amazing group of people, and they're
Sponsor
college.
us.
They're college. Most of them are college grads, and most of them are in uh, different classes like astrophysics. One's an astrophysicist. There's like MDs. There's a I can't even when they release their video, I'm gonna link it and promo them a little bit because they deserve it.
Absolutely.
Really really awesome studio, White Giant Studios. Check them out. They're professional, the best group of people that have made any RPG Maker games that I've seen. The Just the best games. I mean, the game's called Last Dream. Check it out on Steam. They're about to release their expansion, which ties in, so you could continue your adventure from Last Dream into the expansion. But it's also a standalone, so you don't need the previous one to run the expansion. You can start a new adventure, right in the
Okay.
expansion
Cool.
itself. Yeah. So
Link
lots
in
of
the
unique
description.
features.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the description for sure. Actually, I'm gonna put the
Yeah.
link to White Ma their what was it called? Something Studios.
White Giant.
I'm gonna put a link down to White Giant Studios, their actual website. I'm gonna put that in the description.
White Giant. All right, so
Oh,
sounds great. I'll
Robert, remind me
definitely have to check that out.
after the podcast. Remind me, I just came up with an amazing plugin for us.
Oh, all right. I hope it isn't like create a 3D dragon model in your first-person battle. You have to dodge the fireballs because I got bad news.
I mean, how'd you know?
Oh, well,
I'm kidding.
we gotta start somewhere.
All right. How
All right.
long have you used RPG Maker?
Oh, is it my turn to go first?
Yes, it is.
All right. Oh shoot, I have to do another like I have no idea answer because I have no idea. Well, let me think
It's
about
all
this for a
good.
second.
It's all good.
RPG Maker VX Ace, not very long. I dropped it, didn't touch it much. MV came back, the hype built up, like Driftwood said.
Oh
Mobile
yeah.
gaming and everything got crazy, and I started using it again. Here I am now. So I would say maybe it came out in 2011, right? So maybe 5 years, 4 years. So yeah, definitely getting there, becoming a veteran any day now. But yeah,
Right.
so
All right. And what about you, Drift?
Well, when I first heard about RPG Maker, not MV, 95 was out, and 2000 was about to come out, and I actually started learning the most when 2000 came out. So if we do our math correctly, 16
you're
years,
helping me.
17 years, I don't know. I've always said over 10 years, over 10 years, over 10 years, but it's probably 16 or 17 years.
Wow,
huh.
that's a lot of
Well,
years. Well,
No, I haven't used it like every day, and there's been times when I haven't touched it for months, you know.
you would have
1
an
hour
amazing game
RPG
right
Maker
now.
every day.
Oh no,
What? What?
that's a lot of hours.
What? Oh. All right
Um.
then.
Well, there you go. Now there's a hint towards guessing Drifty's age.
I'm still saying 107. I don't see how that conflicts with anything at all.
Very
I know his
close,
age,
very
so
close.
I can't play the game. I know his age. I
So
mean,
do I. It's 107.
Robert does too.
What do I gotta tell you? It's guys. I know Drifty is gonna get pissed at me for like telling you guys this, but he's 107 years old. I don't know what to say.
What can I say? I was bit by a vampire, and time
I have no
flies, you know.
ability. I'm sorry.
It's very miserable because everybody you know dies, and then you just have to
Oh.
continue on, you
I'll tell you what.
know.
I'll be fine.
No, I'll become a vampire. Just bite me, Drifty.
Ah.
I'm sending.
All right, so Skullboneslayer, you have yet to answer the question. Please answer the question before getting like destroyed forever and ever and being shunned.
September 2015, as I said before, because I was looking for a game maker to make a project for school. As well, no one actually knows this, but I want to be a game dev as my career, and I would love to use RPG Maker. I would love to use a whole bunch of stuff. Ubisoft, hook me up. Come on, give me a job, Ubisoft. Come on, Treyarch. Come on, I'm right here. No, but really though, I want to be a game dev, like a game developer for my career. So I just want to get into it.
Awesome. I'd actually like to go into that for a second, if you don't mind me
Absolutely.
prying. So, being a game dev is very broad. There's so many fields in making games. What field in what do you find enjoyable, because you're going to have to enjoy what you're doing. So like you could be in game dev and not enjoy yourself. If you're like mainly an art guy and you have to do programming, you're not going to enjoy it, or vice versa, right?
Right.
So what would be your ideal position in game development?
My ideal position would be programming, as well as beta testing.
Okay.
So doesn't everyone?
Yeah, beta
Everyone
testing
wants
is.
beta testing, but
Yeah.
my ideal field is actually programming. I have actually a friend. I'm not gonna mention his real name, but we'll just call him John.
Hi, John.
John wants to get into beta testing, and but there's just so many people in the field right now because everyone just wants to
Yeah.
chill out, get $1,000 an hour to play video games.
Dude, I just want to play games, man. Why can't you pay me to play games,
I don't want to
bro?
be bored. I just want to play games, bro. The
I'm
games are
bored.
Call of Duty 8,000.
So programming is your answer. Yeah, that's a good answer. What languages do you know, and what languages would you like to learn?
Well, what I would like to learn is all the terms and definitions for MV. I really want to learn that. Robert's been helping me out with that, but I don't know. It's taking me a while. Usually, I can learn languages rather fast, but I don't know. I know. I actually have this. I know how to make Android apps. I know Java, Python, Batch, buckets.
Oh,
I know HTML5, Python, and I know some basic Unity.
Do you know Python?
I do know Python.
You mentioned it twice, so that's why
Yeah,
I said.
oh, sorry.
That's a
oh no,
very
this is
good.
me. This is me.
I'm sorry.
That's a very very impressive list for somebody your age. You've revealed already. You're 17.
I am.
That's awesome, man. That you have that many. I'm sure there's more you could learn in every one of those
Oh, absolutely.
languages, but you never really know it all, right? Um,
There's always updates coming out. There's always new terms, new array lists that are. Yeah, there's like new array lists, for example. That's what I meant to say. Array list just came out for Java a couple years ago. Before then, you had to use a whole set of variables, and it was just a mess.
right.
Robert might know what I'm talking about.
I'll pretend that I do, but I actually don't. Yeah, I know you got. Yeah, got it. Array list. Sounds good.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
use like stuffs. So
I mean,
yeah.
you know
Right.
array lists. You know what variables are.
Well, I guess. I mean, like, what was thing? I know what things are. I don't know the terms for them. I try to learn them, but if you've seen any of my older scripting tutorials, the swirly whirly mega brackets is just
No, I'm gonna slap you. No, it's too. I
it just goes to
watched his.
show how much I know.
You can go back and watch his first ever tutorial. I count him on this every single time he says it. Curly brackets. They're
Yes.
used a lot in
Oh yes.
programming in every single language. No, I don't care what language you're talking about. Every single language, you're gonna use curly brackets.
What about
In
HTML?
his first tutorial, he said, "This is our super awesome mega curly bracket." So now every time he says a curly bracket, I make him say super awesome curly bracket, super mega awesome curly bracket.
And I'm very well. I'm making it go away very slow. I forgot about that. So I met Skullboneslayer like a week ago, and he's like, "Hey, you remember this?" And I'm like, "Oh, yes, my dark past. Please bring that up again."
So I
So are you?
think. Go ahead.
No,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Robert.
Oh, no, I
I,
have nothing.
I,
I
I'm.
have nothing.
I think we should mention the birthday news.
Yes,
Skullbones and Robert, if you guys know
absolutely.
about this, they're giving a very good discount on Steam, right?
On
Oh,
Steam
what?
and on the actual website themselves.
Oh, I know which
On
one you're
both,
talking
right?
about.
Yeah.
So
So if you,
take it from us. Go for the website.
Definitely.
as we already covered, yeah, you're supposed to get a Steam copy anyway. So if you want it on Steam, you can still buy it through the website. However, they didn't send it to Skullbone Slayer, so
I don't
maybe
know.
They don't
it's in
like
your
me. Well,
spam.
he's
My spam gets up, like it gets cleared every single day, so I hope not. But
oh
I'm gonna take a look anyway and see if I overlooked it or something. If not, I'll just tweet at them. I'm sure they'll be cool and give me another Steam code.
oh totally.
Like RPG is a great community themselves. I mean, they're great people. Can't talk,
Yeah.
but they are great people.
I mean, yes. It's there's not much to say about that. They just are.
Yeah. So we need to put a link in the description so that they can just click on that link and it can be forwarded to their website. I'm sure most people already know where how to get there, but
I have
we'll
a
Right.
we'll make
birthday
it accessible, more accessible.
birthday sale. Oh,
Birthday
80%
sale.
off.
Eighty
Ooh.
Yeah,
percent off.
80%, guys. It's crazy.
It's you're not gonna get a better deal.
You won't find a better deal. No. Like you might see it months from now 50% off. That's probably the best thing that's going to happen after
However,
this.
also on some of the resource packs and things like that, you're looking at 65% off. However, there are excludes essential RPG Maker essentials, RPG Maker MV cover pack, Pop Horror City character packs, Medieval Town and Country interiors, and Town bundle. As well, you're looking at on the arts or sorry, the music code. You got the exclusion. It excludes Egyptian memories, Asian empires, and the Fantasy Historica music pack. that's also 65% off. And if you want to get sorry, if
Are
you
we
want
being
to
paid
get
for this?
no, but I just want to cover it all, you know.
All right.
If you want to get RPG Maker 2003, RPG Maker XP, RPG Maker VX, and RPG Maker VX Ace, I'm not sure if MV is included in that, so don't quote me. But it's 80% off. You use the promo code birthday. If you want to get the futuristic packs, excluding what I already mentioned, the promo code is happy, 65% off. And if you want to get the music packs, promo code is happy again and 65% off.
Very, very good information. If you guys have ever been interested in this, now's the time to get it. I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't want to go over this again because we're not getting paid. I want to say that we're not getting paid for any of this.
We're not getting
This
paid.
is just like a public service announcement to let you guys know if you have any interest in this. Now is going to be your best time to get this.
That might be good enough for me to play it.
Yeah, maybe maybe even Robert will be.
No, yeah. So for the one person watching this podcast, thank you. If you have any games, please don't hesitate to send, and we'll talk about it on the podcast because we're very desperate for topics.
Absolutely. And I think it was Drifty. You said you had some plugins by Yanfly that was released lately, right?
Oh yeah, today the equip requirement plugin was released,
Oh, I haven't
which
seen that. What
yeah,
happened?
every Friday, you guys check out Yanfly's website and his YouTube, Yanfly Engine. Every Friday, every Saturday, he hasn't missed a beat. Every Friday, every Saturday, new plugins come out. You can vote on those plugins, so you get the ones that you want to see. You have a higher chance of getting those. Every week, you get a vote, or every other week, since his Patreon page has gone past a certain mark. He's selecting 4 at a time now. That way, we pick 3 of them, and he picks 1 every 2-week period, and every Friday, every Saturday, a new plugin comes out. He's updating his plugins every night, so I'm not like trying to plug Yanfly, but I am plugging Yanfly. He's the
And it
best.
sounds
He's the
good. Don't worry
best.
about it.
He's the best. That's it.
Yanfly is the
Um,
best.
yeah,
I agree. Yanfly is the god of RPG Maker. Worship Yanfly.
but
Yeah,
but check out his new plugin today, the equip requirement plugin. It's really, really neat. It lets you balance your game in a way where you can give your characters or your monsters low percent chance to drop these powerful items, but you don't want the rest of the game to be a cakewalk because they got this powerful item so early that they just mop all the enemies and there's no challenge. You can gate it by putting a level requirement on it so that they got this crazy powerful sword, but they can't use it until they get about 10 more levels, and then they can start being powerful. So that's just one thing that you can do with it. You can give people incentive to level up, like, oh, this sword is amazing, but I have to get 3 more levels to use it. So they'll keep playing your game to level up and be able to use that sword. And they may be disappointed at first, but that disappointment will turn into satisfaction and excitement that they can finally use what they've been working towards. And I know that works for me too. When I go to the auction house and other games and I'll look at these weapons, I'm like, well, I'm level 52 and this is a 53 sword. Well, I'll buy it now. And then I can't think of anything else to do except I need a level. I need to get this. And it gives
exactly. I
me
couldn't agree more.
it gives me something to do, work for, and it's only one level, right? Just that one more level,
Yep.
and then you get this whatever that is. So that plugin equip requirements that Yanfly released is going to let you incorporate that sort of those feels into your game, and you can gate content and make sure that they have to be a certain level to use this, so they can't just go through. Now I'm just reiterating the same thing I already said,
Yeah,
but
it's all
yeah.
you do, like parameters, classes, skills. So yeah, with this you could probably make like a class where you have this class, say like the Necromancer. Only this person can use like the Death Potion of Revival Epicness, while the other classes can't. And yeah, so it also has the awesome, amazing JavaScript conditions, which allow you to have limitless amounts of requirements for you to use.
Isn't that
So
amazing?
it
Lunatic
is
mode
amazing.
on almost all of his plugins. Lunatic
It's
mode.
that's I, I
It, it
I'm worthless. I'm wordless. I'm speechless. That's the word I need.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
We're
We are.
not worthy.
We suck.
We do.
But yeah, awesome stuff. Check out Yanfly. Do you have any more topics, Skullboneslayer? I think we're already
I just
past
want
that
to let
1
you guys
hour mark.
know. So I just want to let you
Good.
guys know. actually found the product key number, so I'm actually gonna go and try and install the Steam version after this. And I actually want to ask you guys a question. Do you guys have
Alright.
any other questions that you want to ask us
Oh.
about RPG Maker, stuff like that? And I have questions for Drifty afterwards if you guys don't have any.
I'll be honest, I don't have any. I could probably think of some, but why don't you ask Drifty your questions?
Yeah, you think of some while I ask Drifty.
Okay.
We actually talked about this in last week's podcast before we got off track, like really bad. Uh,
That was an entertaining segment.
that was it was something. That's definitely for sure.
it was
So
it was very black screeny.
it was very black screeny. Yes. Uh, so who is your favorite? Besides yourself, who is your favorite person that makes RPG Maker tutorials and or plugins, anything related to RPG Maker on YouTube?
Yanfly.
Yanfly?
Yeah.
Thank you. There we go.
That's also what Robert said.
Yes, it's so. I mean, is there really any competition? Yanfly is just
Yanfly makes amazing plugins.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't actually watched too many of Yanfly's videos.
What? You
Boo
tricked me.
this man.
Sorry.
It's just hours of like cutscenes and plugin learning at the same time. It's amazing.
Right.
Like, here's the thing though. It's not just about like presenting the plugins. Like when you see a plugin, you aren't really familiar with, you watch it and think like, wow, I can actually use this. Add this as a new feature in my game, and it makes you like think of all this cool stuff you can do. And like yeah, so like if you go and also Yanfly does the tips and tricks thing where he like shows off all this like weird stuff you can do, but it's like awesome. Like he just did this like really crazy one for the tree of saviors joint penalty. And it's
Right.
like a huge load of code, but it all comes down to like this really amazing like function you could do that I didn't never thought you could do before without like a specific plugin. And this goes to show how much like you can do with just the Yanfly's plugins alone. Like with these, you can pretty much make a whole your unique game without any other plugins, and yeah, it's just so open and
At the
amazing.
same time, I think Robert's video on how to fix the problem where plugins actually combine with each other and where they what's the word I'm looking for here? Where they like
Aliasing.
interact.
Oh,
Yeah, aliasing and using
Yeah,
prototypes. That doesn't always work because you're not always able to do that. As
yeah.
Robert illustrates, sometimes you can't do that. But
exactly.
uh,
So that's actually
people should
a good
be.
video.
Yeah,
Thank you very
definitely
much.
props on that video, Robert. That was a very,
Yay.
very good tutorial.
I'm
All
very
right,
happy.
and another question for Drifty while Robert thinks of more topics and more
Oh
questions.
shoot, I forgot about that. Wait, I'm on it.
So,
I got
what
in the
is your
conversation.
favorite kind of RPG Maker tutorial out there? So there's always like Robert's plugin tutorials. There's my regular tutorials, the RPGCast, Yanfly's plugins. What's your favorite out there? It can be anything from anything. I don't think we ever
Well,
covered this, so I'm gonna ask Robert again after.
well, there.
You.
Okay. Well, there's many different ways you can go about making tutorials. You can make tutorials in a series, like, hey, this is my part one of this series where I talk about this specific thing. An example, like your Pokemon series, Robert. Um, you you could make you can make higher learning type things like scripting, like how to teach the teachers type thing. And I really like watching Robert's scripting tutorials. I actually like watching Soulpour's scripting tutorials as well. Um, Somebody told me, now I don't know, I can't verify the validity of this statement, but somebody told me that he copies other people's and he plagiarizes other people's stuff, and
Who
and
is that?
y-
Soulport?
yeah, Soulpour777.
Oh, Soulport.
And now I can't say that that's true or not, but he has shared the knowledge that he's learned with people, and I have to respect him for that. So whether he has copyright, plagiarized, whatever, um, that's another thing. But I still have to give him props for showing people what he knows how to do, and give
Absolutely.
him that sort of credit for that. Now, I think plagiarizing is wrong, but in an essence, we're all taking something from stuff that we've learned and changing it up and presenting it in another way. So it's always an evolution of learning something from somebody else. We
And
didn't
sharing
make
the
anything.
knowledge.
Right. I didn't create anything new. I'm just taking what I know, spinning it in a blender and then spitting out something that people can use
Yeah.
to turn into something else, right? Learn this and learn that. So going back full circle to what the original question is, what are my favorite kind of tutorials? I think the tutorials that teach me something that I don't know how to do, or showing me how to do something that I already know how to do in a different way, are the best kind of tutorials. Now, on another side note, I like watching let's make a game type things because it shows the real skill of the person. I like watching somebody who knows what they're doing, and I can immediately tell if somebody has really experience with it, or if they kind of have an idea of what they're doing. I can tell when they're floundering. I can tell just from watching the video and the way that they present themselves how much experience they really have with the software. Now, this only applies to things that I know how to do. So when I see them talking about things I know how to do, I can tell how far they've gone with it. So I like watching people teach me tutorials on scripting, programming, stuff like that. And mainly, I like watching like let's make a game type series, like where you see them create everything from scratch. They show you how to uh, that they know how to make characters, they know how to manage the database, they know how to manage the skills, they know how to create formulas, they know how to use plugins, they know where to put the how to set the parameters, they know where to put the note tags. Like everything comes into making a game and presenting a final product. So, to finally answer the question, let's make a game series are my absolute favorite.
Absolutely. And real quick, going on about your plagiarism topic that you went off there on, um, at the same time, at the coding level, everything that all of us have done, RPG Dawn, the three of us in this call, Yanfly, everything is done using previous code. Going down to
Exactly.
even the
That's what I'm
binary
saying.
level.
We're not
Ev-
creating the wheel again. Go
exactly.
ahead, sorry.
We're taking what we know and we're giving it to other people. And that's not really plagiarism because we've bought the software, so we technically own the rights to use any part of that software. Now, if Yanfly sent me a plugin code because I wanted to learn something, and I took all that code, I copied it down, and I changed to word author Yanfly to author Skullboneslayer, that's completely different because
Yep.
Yanfly made that. RPG Maker Web didn't make that, and I didn't purchase it from Yanfly. So that's what he's doing. That's completely wrong. Otherwise, everything is fair
Yes.
game.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I said, I can't say that that's true or not. That's just what somebody told me.
Absolutely.
You know how I like to cover different people's plugins and make tutorials for just everybody, right? I have like a general fair use type thing. If you're an author and you want to get your plugin out there, just contact me and let me know. Hey, could you show people how to use it? Because it seems some people may think it's complicated. Sure, let me learn how to do it. Give me a few days to figure out so that I can teach, sufficiently. And then when I learn it, I'll show people. And I treat all of the authors fairly. I mainly cover Yanfly because it's most coolest to me, and that's why I've covered more Yanfly plugins than any other author. And just look at the sheer volume of plugins that have been put out. I think Yanfly is going to be up there with the most number of
Absolutely.
plugins. So that's general math is going to dictate that
At the
more
same
people
time,
who have more.
a lot of sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish
No,
your
no,
thought.
that's fine. I've been talking a lot. Go ahead.
All right. At the same time, though, a lot of people can make the argument saying that you only do higher because you do a lot of Yanfly, but that's not true. Like, I'm positive that if an indie developer like myself or Robert came to you and was like, "Can you review my plugin on Twitter?" Or something, I'm positive you would say absolutely, and you would do that for them,
Of course. Yeah.
like either one of us would.
Yay! Yes, if you have any plugins you want me to review, please send them. I need content. I'm
Content.
I need content. I'm running out of ideas.
All right. I guess I'll go next, and then Robert can explain or answer the question, and then tell us anything he's come up with.
Wait, real quick. What's the question again?
The question is, what's your favorite type of tutorial on YouTube for RPG Maker
Oh, that's right. All
MD?
right. Yeah. All right. Go ahead,
So
please.
I'm gonna answer this. One of my favorites. I know a lot of people. Oh, no, actually, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But one of my favorites is actually RPG Dawn's custom class series. I
Yeah.
love it. I think that's very creative. It shows how to do a lot of things that a lot of people won't think is possible. in the database because they're not experienced enough. But with his tutorials, it can show you how to make a robot in RPG Maker. It can show you how to make a Western dude. Like it can show you how to make a lot of stuff, and I think that's just incredible, very creative, and yeah, good job on that.
All
That's
right.
that's got to be my favorite. And up to you, Robert. What do you think is your favorite
Here I am.
tutorial?
Well, I definitely have to say it's the like Drifty mentioned earlier, like a series of tutorials and more like focus on a specific thing. Like I remember one of the first videos of tutorials I watched was from William the Unpro Pro, and he did this like series of like horror games like tutorials, and that like really got me into because like it wouldn't be like that very structured, but he'd go through, he'd show what he was doing, he'd create like this like alternate world, he'd create all these like these jump scares, had to create a map on the screen, and like in those tutorials, like you actually learn a lot more than what's intended. Like you see, like something he takes for like granted, you actually learn that, especially for like a new person, you don't really know much, and they go on there and think like, wow, you can do that. I didn't know that. At the same time, you also learn like, wow, you can do this, you can do this, and eventually it gets to the point where like, wow, I not only do I know how to create this, but I also know how to like create a basic game. I think I can know how to transform this and then make it something else, and yeah, it's
Right.
pretty awesome. So yeah,
That was RPG Maker. He was making a horror series on RPG Maker.
yeah, it was. I'm gonna look it up right now. Yeah, I think it was
I'm gonna check that
William the
out later.
Unpro Pro
Yeah,
horror
what
game. It
he
was for VX Ace, and it was I think it was like 19 episodes, I guess.
I'm gonna
It
check
was
that
very
out later.
sad when it
Definitely.
ended, but it did.
he
And then
actually a relevant topic. William the Unpro Pro has been doing a new game in MV called Zypher Force, and I've watched some of his live streams. He was posting a lot a couple weeks ago.
yeah, I saw
He's
that.
the last week has been pretty dry. I think he's doing another project with some other company or something. But he's been posting a lot of his Zypher Force game, which looks pretty interesting.
Absolutely.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna also check out the horror series one later on because that would be really interesting to know, and I would like to see what he did with that.
Oh yeah.
You could probably have a bit of fog in there. You could probably have a couple of jump scares using the picture editor, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, it would
It
be
goes
interesting to see what he
beyond.
did.
Yeah, you should
Go
definitely
ahead.
check it out. It's really interesting.
Yeah. All right. So
All
what
right.
do you got for us, Robert?
I do have something I was able to figure out. So let's talk about MOG Hunter, shall we? What is your favorite MOG Hunter plugin?
Who's starting?
Uh,
I'll start. We'll go to Robert, and then we'll do Drifty.
okay.
I don't know who Mog Hunter is.
Uh-oh. Well,
Mog
you got
Hunter is
MOG.
amazing. Mog Hunter, you definitely need to check that out. Uh,
Absolutely.
I'll go first then, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Go right ahead. You want take the
I
stage.
I love Mog Hunter's plugins, and it, Mog Hunter has a different way of presenting all their plugin, of his or her plugins, because she kind of like packages them in a demo, and then you just download the demo and have to get them and figure them out yourself.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Mog Hunter makes like videos, but not really tutorials. It's just like showing off
Demonstrations.
videos.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like look what I did, like which I'm okay with because it's impressive, right? I remember one really cool one was if you've ever played Theatre Rhythm from Final
Oh.
Fantasy, where you have to press buttons in a certain order. Um,
That sounds fun.
so it's like a timing based rhythm game, but it with RPG Maker MV. So when you hit the button at the right time, you attack. If you miss, then you get attacked. That was a really cool one. I never actually used it, but I watched the video on it, and I was like, that's an interesting concept, and some people could make a game based around that. But I think the what I used the most was before Yanfly came out with the ATB gauge and the health bar gauge thingy. The health bars, Mog Hunter had the health bars out first, so I used Mog Hunter's health bars for a while before Yanfly actually came out with that. Yeah, so that was my favorite at the time. Right now, I think my favorite is one I don't actually use because I'm using Yanfly's version of animated enemies and stuff. But Mog Hunter has a very impressive animated enemy type thing that can like do pulsing images and like rotating images and like all kinds of different stuff.
It's crazy. Yeah, so my favorite would definitely be the title screen stuff he does. Like I think he has this thing where it has like an animated background that's like it's like a slow slideshow, and like the choices are like are like completely different images. I can just select and choose, and like that's amazing because like now you have your normal game. Someone opens it up, and no longer it's just like a boring RPG mech game. The first thing they see is like this beautiful, amazing Mog Hunter RPG title screen, and it's so amazing. The only downside is that a lot of MOG Hunter stuff, you gotta like create your own images. So you gotta sort of like have an artistic ability to make them work really well. Because I can imagine if someone like has MOG Hunter's plugins and they take like their a really amazing artistic like images and stuff and put it together, it's gonna be like a really really amazing game. Like if Yanfly was just all about mechanics, MOG Hunter is definitely about like all the visual stuff and like all like the stuff that can make it turn a game from like a boring pixelated game into like boom, it's animated, it's almost looks 3D and it's very beautiful.
That was
I
well
actually
put.
have
Yeah.
a question about that. Sorry, Driftwood. I actually have a question for you. I saw in your tutorials you have a custom title screen with a custom picture. Did you make that picture?
Yeah, I actually made that picture, but I'm using it's a version. See, here's the thing. Going back into Soulpore, I actually learned and used the Soulpore plugin, but it's very familiar and similar to MOG Hunter's animated title screen. So I don't really know which one of them made it. Um, but I created that image by going into Photoshop and going to the magic eraser and setting the transparency to 0, and then just clicking a million times in different areas to show the animated background, and I overlaid an image that I made on top of that animated background.
Right.
But yeah, I made that.
I was wondering what happened. I didn't know it was animated actually. I just saw it was like really cool custom, like the branches and everything.
The
You're a
plugin,
you're a really
like I
good
said,
artist.
the not really. Thank you. Uh, I can use Photoshop decently. I know how to make some sprites, but I suck. I think I suck at it really.
All right. Well,
But
I can help
that's
you.
cool that you think I'm good at it.
I go out to you, fan.
Yay. Next tutorial,
But
how to make a background.
How to make a background 101.
how to make a thumbnail.
Yeah. I learned good. I learned a lot. I don't ever touch Photoshop, but I should because I have it, but I'm never like
Oh, who came out with that tutorial? Who was
it was
that?
good. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking it was RPG Don, but I was like, no, 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 he didn't upload that. Oh, who was it? No, I was
Yeah,
joking. I was
that
joking.
was like last week. I think I did a tutorial on why you should use. It's just me blabbering about why you should put a thumbnail to your videos and why it's worth the little bit of time it
It's definitely
takes.
worth it.
You could do it in 2 minutes if I was going slow. It was like a 13-minute video. It didn't need to be that long. I should have truncated it into like a 7-minute video, 8-minute video. But I just kept going on and on. But basically, you should, and that's why I thought it would be a good topic, and I need content, whatever I can think of.
Content. All right, I have three more questions for you guys that I thought up.
Oh,
Uh,
yay.
it seems like I'm trying to make this last longer, but I just have questions genuinely. All right,
Cool.
if you had to choose an RPG maker not based on graphic design and not based on the plugin itself, which one would you choose? Which one would be your favorite?
Wait.
Aside from MV, sorry.
So like our favorite RPG Maker program?
Exactly.
Huh, and
Would you
not
prefer
including any like
2000
graphic stuff.
XP, VX, VX Ace, not including MV because that's the current one?
Well,
Are you asking a simple question like, besides MV, what's your favorite?
Exactly. But you can't base it off of like graphics because I know back in like XP days or 2003 days, there probably weren't that great graphics.
Okay,
So
so
base it off of the systems.
ignoring pixel density as if they were all MV graphics, but just their own
Exactly.
build. 2003.
2003?
really?
Yeah.
Why?
hmm
I'm like curious. I haven't touched like any 2003 or 2000.
Yeah, me
So
either.
I have no idea what the appeal is, so maybe you explain that.
2003 is the closest thing to MV's thing that I can think of, like a relative of MV. Basically, 2003 is the only one that has a built-in side view battle system besides MV. XP only first person. Now all you have to do is get Galv scripts or Yanfly scripts or um, Victor Engine had some good plugins or scripts for VX and everything to do like side view battle system, but you would have to manually go in there, set up your scripts, and scripts are like you probably maybe I don't know. Scripts are like your plugins for VX Ace and prior
All
versions.
right. Robert, what about you?
Well, once again, I can't really say. Like, I've only done VX Ace and I've touched a tiny bit on XP, but I guess I'd say VX Ace because that's what I'm most familiar with. But I'm sure, like, if I went back, that's something I gotta do sometime. Like, go back and see what these things could do. What can I do with these things? And like,
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah, VX Ace, but that's all I know. So who knows what I could have liked?
I'm also gonna go with 2003 because of the side view battling. That reason alone, I think that is. I love that mechanic in MV. So if that was available in 2003, that's the one I'm gonna go with because I love that mechanic.
Right.
Huh. I definitely have to check that out then if you both like it so much.
Well, you've never used 2003 Skull, but you just know from what we've said
Yeah,
right now, right?
from what you guys are
Right.
talking about. I love the mechanic that makes it a side view battle. It makes you feel like your character and you are in the battle itself, and it's more user. It's more like user inactive or not inactive. It's more user active, and it
Active.
draws your attention into it. So I feel like it's more intense battle scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
But I guess the only problem is you'd have to create your own custom graphics for that, wouldn't you?
Yes,
That's not
you
too
would
much
have.
fun.
No, it's
Fair enough.
definitely tough. Now there's a lot of resources by now. There's a lot of people who have already done that, so you can look on Google and find like thousands of sprite images that people just royalty free. And most of the time they're just like, hey, I don't care if you put it in your game commercial or not. It would be cool if you mentioned my name.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Honestly, me and Driftwood were actually talking about this the other day in a private channel. But it's like he was saying, it's most people are fine with everything until money gets involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a really really long conversation on that, and that applies
Monetization.
with anything. People are okay with you doing almost whatever, unless you're hurting somebody. But unless there's money involved, and if you start making money, people are going to have a problem with you, and you're going to just Biggie Smalls. More money you come across, more problems you see, and that's so true. Now, I don't like listen to a ton of rap music, but I like rap music. I like all kinds of music, so I did do a Biggie reference there. If you guys don't know who that is, a rap artist
I'm afraid I do
I don't
not.
listen to a lot of rap.
was.
I don't listen to a lot of rap.
I like country music. I like classical music. I like rap music. I like all genres. I'm a music teacher by profession.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, I work at a private music school in Orange County. I also run the sound for clubs in it's crazy because before I used to have to sit down at like a rack and turn knobs and volume everything like manually on an analog thing. But now I walk around with a tablet and control the volume for everything. The microphone needs more echo or needs more reverb. I can control it right there. Okay, there's too much gain on this. I can just turn it down. I walk around the building, just listen to how it sounds in each area. It's really awesome how technology has gone from
What's your other
everything
job?
being handheld.
You said you had two jobs when you were talking to me earlier. What's your second one again?
Well, I'm a music teacher, and my
All right.
second job is I'm a sound engineer, and I run live services for like clubs and stuff, for like
Wow.
band live performance bands and stuff.
I forgot the music teacher one. That's the one I was forgetting.
Huh. So do
All
you know
right.
how to make like music
Sorry.
and stuff? Like, could you make music for games?
Oh yeah, I've done that before, but I use Sonar, and it's so out of date now, and it doesn't even recognize my M Audio because I need to get Pro Tools for my M Audio sound interface. So I have Sonar 8.5, which I learned when I was going to junior college, and I need to get a new DAW, digital audio workstation. So I could either get Pro Tools and then it'll work fine. Relevant topic, I just ordered a new microphone, a Blue Yeti Pro, so I'm waiting for that to arrive in the next 5 or 6 days. That's going to arrive. I'm super excited about that because now I love my Kraken headset, and I'm gonna do a video on the evolution of the sound on my channel when it gets here. So
Absolutely.
I can start with my Turtle Beach piece of junk headset and work my way up to what I have now. But I want to
Fun
get
fact.
my
Sorry, go ahead.
uh, I want to like get everything organized first. No, go ahead.
Fun fact: RPG Dawn uses a Blue Yeti.
Well, yeah, it's definitely one of the best microphones because you can select if you want to have it omnidirection or just one direction, or you can control the gain right on the thing with the knob. You can turn the power on and off, the mute and everything like right on the thing itself. It's USB. And now the Pro version is XLR or USB, and XLR is like the three-prong one.
Yeah. All right. That takes care of one of the questions.
Oh boy.
So,
Oh, we're doing good. We hit the 90-minute mark. Yay.
That went by pretty quickly for me. That was pretty good.
Absolutely,
Nice.
yeah.
We can stop anytime and we'll hit our goal. Yes.
Actually, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My goal was to make it to the 90-minute mark, but I wasn't trying to stall or anything. If you guys want to cut it, I was down for that. I'm not trying to make it as bad as we did last time.
No. This is.
You had another question.
I have two more questions.
Bring 'em on,
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right. I'm gonna start with Yanfly. You said your favorite plugin from that person. You said that, but what's your favorite plugin from Yanfly? I don't use a lot of plugins, so I can't answer this, but it's a question for you guys.
My
Ah.
that what one plugin from Yanfly that we had to
One
pick?
plugin. One
Yeah,
plugin.
that's. I gotta look
The
through
core
the
engine.
like,
I mean, because you need the core engine. You need the core engine to run most of the other plugins. So,
Assuming you had the core engine. Assuming you had the core engine.
okay, the battle engine core, because you need that to run like action sequences and everything. Everything is like
Something that you
dependent.
don't need for something.
Well,
You
you
can
see,
have
the battle
what you
engine does
need.
have stuff though. Not
So
only
say
do you need
you,
it for the other stuff, but it also has stuff built into it that you can also like use.
Right.
Like the core engine, sure you need for everything else, but it also has like all the like limit breaking stuff, like all the extra features. Takes like
Bug
normal
fixes.
MB.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I mean, if I
go
had to choose one, I'd say the ATB, I guess, because that was pretty awesome. I mean, it came out of nowhere. I was like, yes, this is good. This is an alternative battle system that the great Yanfly created. This can be like really
The
amazingly
great
stable.
Yanfly.
Well, yes. I mean, that's my first reaction. I'm thinking like now I have ATB, but not just like made with a Yanfly, so it's guaranteed to be like super amazing, super stable, not gonna have to worry about crashes, and it can be used with all the other Yanfly like plugins. So like it's perfect.
I'm gonna
Which
title
yeah,
this video "Talking Yanfly."
Don't.
No.
If I had to, pick one that was like one plugin and then it came with all of its dependencies,
Yeah,
I would say
you automatically get the dependencies with whatever you get.
the action sequence packs. You know, 1, 2, 3, because
Yeah.
no matter what battle system you use, and that would include action sequence pack 1, 2, 3, battle engine core, and core engine. Those are the requirements for that. So that setup would be the thing that I would need to have, because you can use any battle system, ATB, CTB, regular default built-in, DTB system. I don't know if that's acronym for that, but because action sequencing is amazing. It's so cool to action sequence, to have your character jump across the screen, attack, and then they fly around, and then you jump up and the screen changes. And if you ever seen any of Vibrato's action sequences, he goes like ham. He goes ham on a biscuit with the action sequencing, and it takes it to a whole nother level. If you haven't seen those videos, you gotta watch those.
What was that again? Vibrato or?
Yeah, vibratos.
Oh, huh. How do you spell
Or
that?
B Bibrato, or maybe the I is a one. I don't know. Also,
Oh, I found it!
it,
Yay!
yeah, and also look up Phantom while you're at it. It's just a similar thing. Phantom does like some tutorials on it. They're kind of hard to watch in my opinion because the Google translation is so bad. And it's like originally in Japanese, but I would imagine that my Google translation of Japanese stuff is also awful as well. So, because I translate all my videos into Japanese with Google's translator,
Huh.
so
Interesting.
yeah, so you can look at my descriptions in English or Japanese in all my videos.
I gotta do that. Oh
Interesting.
my gosh.
After the stream, you'll have to show us how to do that.
Okay, it's really easy. You just go to the second tab when you post a video, translation, select Japanese, type in Japanese, hit OK, and then go to Google Translate in another tab, copy your title, paste it into the description, copy that, paste it into the Japanese translation, copy your description, paste that, copy the translation, put that into the box. That's it.
Huh. All right then. Sounds very simple.
Interesting. Mine isn't Yanfly's plugin because I don't use a lot of plugins, but I know about this one. It takes an VX Ace project, and it allows you to continue working on it in MV.
Yeah, the
I've used
translation.
that actually for my
Sometimes
first
that's
project. I had
fantastic.
I had to use it because I was working on my project. Actually named it Level Up Your Wizard. That was the name of the game. And
Well, you
and
can.
VXAs. So I had to like take that into MV, and so I had to use a plugin for that. It worked, but I had to do like a lot of tweaking with
Oh.
everything to get the sprite size, the tile size correct, and some of the
That's just one
database
of the
items.
main things that they need to work on.
Well, it's the best that you could probably get for translating. You know, it's a translation type thing. You know, you're turning ones and zeros to x's and y's, so it's got to do its best too. That's
Absolutely.
just a rough,
And
description.
someone needs to make a thing that just turns all the images times 1.5 size, and then be good to go.
I actually made a tutorial about that too. Yeah.
Really? Oh, I gotta check. Do you use like
So many
some?
things we gotta check out after this.
I know.
I
So
have
many
like
things.
200 MV videos. It's crazy.
I know you had them all in one playlist until I told you to separate them.
Well, I was already gonna do that, but you were bugging me about it. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna go to bed. And then I couldn't sleep, and I got on. I just did it all anyway.
I know. I went on the next day. I'm like, oh, he actually did it. All right, cool. All right. My next question for you guys is: if you got to collab with someone, not Yanfly because you already said it's your favorite person, but if you had to collab with something to make an RPG game or to make something else, who would you pick? It can be anyone but Yanfly because you said it was your favorite. So I'm excluding Yanfly.
Hmm. All right, I guess I'll go first.
Absolutely, go right ahead.
I mean, oof. I say no Yanfly. That means I have to go straight to MOG Hunter then, because like we said before, it's very beautiful. I mean, if you could set up the mechanics, I'm sure he or she could like set up all the amazing, beautiful visual stuff, and it'd look amazing.
It's a
So, yeah.
side note, but it's somewhat relevant. It's amazing how many RPG maker people hide their gender.
Oh well,
I
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of I don't know. You just don't see
Well, maybe
that in
it's
a
not
lot
really
of series,
intentional.
but
They just it never
yeah,
comes up, and they never bring it. That's not really relevant to plugin making, to be honest. So
exactly. But I
Right.
don't know.
I think it's a matter of just protecting their identity.
I think so too.
Keeping their internet life away from their personal life.
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's
But
why I
if you
love
really want to
the
connect,
names.
yeah, I feel though if you really want to connect with an audience, there need to be that level of transparency.
Absolutely.
People are going to trust you and know you and want to know you more if they can see you, if they know more about you. Because when you look at a YouTube channel, you're not buying their content, you're buying the creator. You're buying
Absolutely,
them.
I agree.
When you create your content, people are like, take for example like Total Biscuit or Jesse Cox. It doesn't matter what they're playing or what they're talking about. I'll listen to their stuff in the background. The same thing with Krindor. Like, I'll just listen to them because I like the sound of their voice and I like their style. And I could listen to them. Doesn't matter what they're talking about. They could talk about something completely stupid that I have no care interest in. I'll be working on my project, listening to them just because I don't know. I buy the artist. I'm not buying the content. I'm buying the artist.
As well with that, it kind of takes away a portion of video making. You don't see like they don't because they're like it's not really intentional to hide your gender, but because of that, you don't hear anything. So unless it's music or something, so you're watching a video and they have to do it all through in-game text
yeah. Well,
because
and
they're
That's
not
right.
talking, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
feel
but
like that takes a big portion away.
well, at the same
it
time,
does.
well, I was gonna say
There's
like, oh, sorry, but I was gonna say like, it takes like a lot to your, it leaves a lot to your imagination. Like,
true.
I mean, sure, yeah, you said like, okay, you don't really know what they look, but in my mind, like before like MV came out, like Works and Yanfly started doing these like tutorials and they create their own avatars and stuff. You'd be left to you'd be thinking like, all right, this is how they look, and they look like this, and they're like, that's your Yanfly, that's your Works, and that's the amazing person that's creating the amazing plugins. And
Absolutely.
sometimes that's gonna be like more beneficial because then you're like idolizing this like amazing person without really knowing what they look like to begin with, and perhaps maybe that's better.
I can agree with
Yeah.
that.
I could see that perspective too, but you have to also take into consideration that there's probably language barriers. Not
Oh yeah.
English isn't everybody's first language, and I know for sure that it's not in multiple cases. Japanese is probably the
Japanese
first
is
language of
huge.
most of them, but for people involved in the MV scene, but even so, Japanese or English might not be the language that the first language of everybody involved. Portuguese might be somebody's
Very
first
true.
language.
Could be
So
German, Swedish, anything.
could be anything, right?
Could, yeah, exactly. So it that is also a big role in that. But I can see why they do it. Yeah. But even now, like even after they show their face, like I still picture like I don't have a for sure picture of Driftwood before he ever showed me his face. But like I had a somewhat image of him in my mind because I didn't watch like a face cam or anything of him. So I had like a kind of image in my mind. Like whenever I look at someone like Robert here, you can see his profile picture with like the big blue eyes, black hair. I picture like that talking to me. I picture that's what he looks like.
I don't, by the way. I'm pretty positive that he doesn't look like that.
No, I mean like not in real. I mean like he has black hair in real life. He has like blue eyes.
Purple eyes, of course, he has purple eyes in
Yeah.
real life.
Yep, that's
But
exactly.
whenever I picture someone what they look like, I always picture of their like thumbnail. Like RPG Don, I've seen a video of him where he used a face cam on his channel. But whenever I think of him, I always think of him like with the blonde hair, the blue eyes, stuff like that. Even though I know that's not what he looks like, but whenever I think of him, that's what I think of. So it's not necessarily like it'll ruin the creative aspect. It's just like I don't know, something else.
I mean, yeah, maybe it doesn't really matter, but yep, I have black hair. I promise.
I don't know.
Speaking of that, though, it would be kind of cool if maybe in the next episode we can get Robert have a webcam or something. I could recommend a really good webcam. The Logitech 1080p one is top notch, man.
I see. Sounds good. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, because I have like nothing. My computer hardly can stay alive as it is, but we'll see about that.
I'm
Right.
just using my laptop's webcam. I think it's pretty decent.
It works. It works.
Exactly. So we should probably get back on topic. So, Mike, who would you like to collab with besides Yanfly?
That's a tough one. I mean, if we were to exclude like language barriers and make it so that like if I could speak Japanese fluently and the other person could speak, yeah, I would have to agree with Robert and say MOG Hunter because it's so impressive, right? Like they're so impressive. Like he or she is so impressive with like the level of consistency and the artistic ability. Like not only is Mog Hunter a good programmer, but Mog Hunter is an artist. You know,
I'm gonna have to check
so
out Mog Hunter after this.
It's amazing.
You guys speak very highly of him or her.
yeah,
Do we know the gender of Mog Hunter?
Nope.
I have no
Okay.
idea.
Okay. Well, there we go. Uh, it's like next week we have a special guest star. Mog Hunter's here. No.
Yeah, I think Mog Hunter speaks Spanish actually, or something like that. Because if you go into
Yeah,
a site, it's all just in like Spanish or Portuguese or something.
yeah. Mhm.
That goes back to the language barrier thing. So.
Right.
That's why it probably could never happen anyway.
Oh.
For myself,
Way to be a positive thinker. It's never gonna happen anyway. You guys are dreaming.
Yeah. Here's for not going the extra mile. For myself, I would now I want to go with Mog Hunter because you guys speak so highly of him or her, but I don't know. There's a lot of good people doing MV, and everyone has their unique aspects. Robert and Yanfly have the plugin. You yourself, you're very experienced in the RPG Maker thing. You probably can do a lot of things that neither one of us could do. As well, Ramon, he has, or sorry, it's a
RPG Don.
different guy. RPG Don. He has his creative class, so he can do a bunch of things there. As well, he has other tutorials that he can help us out with. There's a lot of things that everyone has different aspects on, and it would be hard to choose one because everyone is good in their own way.
Right. So who do you choose?
Yeah. Choose.
That's a cop out, my friend.
I was hoping that you would not say that.
Only I can pop out. You cannot.
Oh, I guess I would have to go with what you guys chose, just because you speak so highly of him or her.
No. Choose someone you know. Someone you know.
You don't know Mog
I
Hunter.
guess that's fair.
It works. Yanfly. I mean, not Yanfly. Yami.
Archaea. Archaea's made a lot of good games.
Oh, yeah.
I would have to say either Mog. Might even say Archaea now that I think about it.
Yeah,
I want to switch mine to Archaea. Yeah.
Archaea's really good.
Because she's a good programmer and a good artist as well. So you say I don't want to copy you. I'll say Archaea.
Yay, I'm original.
I was gonna go with Archaea, but okay.
Oh,
I don't know. I guess I wouldn't be able to narrow it down to any of them, but because I've been in contact with you guys, I know you guys are really good people. I'd say you, Either one of you or RPG Don, because you guys, I know you guys are really great people, and yeah, you guys seem pretty chill.
Yay, love. I'm also doing love even though I don't have a face cam. It's there, I promise.
Yay,
There.
hearts.
Hey.
I can't do it properly. I'm an idiot. Yeah. All right. So, do you guys have any more questions?
I'm afraid I don't.
Right?
I think that's gonna probably do it for this podcast. It
That's a
seems
wrap.
like we've covered a lot of content. Definitely an upgrade from episode one.
Definitely. How did
Hopefully.
may I ask, how did the game go on the rest of the screen?
Oh, I ended up just because if I didn't want to distract the audience, and I would be distracting myself by editing, like playing around with the game. So it unfortunately it's just a static shot of the same screen. Now at one point I did go through and like try to mess with one of the events, but then I just found myself getting distracted from the conversation, and I thought it would be more important to be in the conversation and actually do a good podcast than just messing around in the game. So maybe we'll find an alternative in the next episode than just showing a static image of the RPG Maker MV engine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just
And
some stuff and then send it to you, and then you can put it in the video.
all
Could
right.
always edit.
For anyone wondering, Mike or Driftwood, whatever you want to call him, he
Drifty.
Drifty.
I want to
Drifty
sell my brand.
Yes.
It's a branding thing.
Branding. Get some cows. There we go. He is gonna be I think he said yes to this. He's gonna become a permanent member on the podcast. He's gonna be coming every week.
What? Yes.
Robert's very excited about this.
Yes, I'm glad. No more episode one. We should call it
Oh,
episode -1. This should be episode one, and then the episode -1
just
will be like
delete that from history.
we'll put it back like after 100.
Don't get me wrong. This episode has had its errors and its mistakes, but it's nowhere near as bad as last episode.
This episode is absolutely perfect. 100%.
In every way, it could.
Every way, no mistakes were made. All right, I think I'm gonna end it off there, guys. Thank you all for watching episode 2 of RPG Cast. By the way, before we say goodbye, I would like to give props to the blue guy, the blue guy, I think it is.
What?
He gave us RPG Cast, and that when I spoke to Robert about it,
Right.
The title, right?
Thank you, blue guy. If you want to be like a guest, please say something. We would
Absolutely.
love you. Unless you're
And I
like.
swear, I'll help you set up your OBS eventually. I swear. I haven't forgotten.
Yes.
Yeah, if anybody watching would like to be a guest, just send an email or a message to any one of us. Yeah, any one of
We'll
us.
bring it up to the group. I mean, we talk to each other almost daily, so I'm sure it'll come up. Like, just message one of us, and we'll have you on eventually.
Before we close this, I would like to do a little plug ourselves segment. So, some random dude, or Robert, where can we find you on Twitter, YouTube?
It's all the same name. SumRndmDde. Some random dude. You can find me on YouTube. Just type that up. Type it in Twitter. Same thing. And that's pretty much it. Please.
And what do you expect to find? What can we expect to find in your channel that's coming up to get people excited to want to go?
Well, recently I've been focusing purely on the RPG how to make a plugin tutorials. But if you stay there long enough, I'll be going back to my regular random RPG tutorials like Driftwood does, where you just go through, have some random topic, show you how to do it, and it's gonna be great to go. I've also been thinking about doing some some series on how to like create like a certain skill, like use some of what you of the what do you call them, action sequences, like some
Yeah,
some really unique awesome stuff, and just
that would be really
I
cool.
haven't played that much, so I'm a little scared how things might go, but hopefully that'll turn out well, and hopefully I won't fail too horribly. And yeah,
I
so
have faith in you. I think
Awesome.
you can do it.
Yeah.
All right, Mike or Driftwood Gaming, why don't you go next?
Okay, you can find me at on YouTube, youtube.com/driftwoodgamingmv, and that'll go to my YouTube channel. Also, link will be in the description for this video. And if you're watching this on my channel, then you know where to go. I am at Driftwood Gaming on Twitter. I am at Driftwood Gaming on Twitch.tv, and I'm also at Driftwood Gaming on almost every other social media. So you can find me there.
All right, and what can we expect to see from you in the near future?
Okay, so I'm gonna start a Udemy course, which is going to teach you. It's going to be like a private course with a very small paywall, $5 to $10. I might even do discounts on that, and it's going to be a course where you can do a game from the beginning to a full completed game. And I know a lot of people have problems, like they'll start a game, then they eventually just quit in the middle of the game. This is gonna, huh?
How are you gonna get people to pay for that? Like, how are you planning to do that?
Udemy. Have you ever heard of Udemy?
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't.
Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, so, we'll
Udemy is a really, yeah, Udemy is a really good platform for teachers to sell courses, and people, all the students rate it, and it's a respected website, and it's a good website for people who are trying to pay their bills, and they want to help people, but they also have bills to pay, and that's what category I fall into. You know, I have two other jobs that barely pay my bills, and I would like to phase into to doing more content for you guys. So there's going to be a course that's coming up. It won't be released for several months, so because I have to do all the editing and everything, and I want to make it a little bit higher quality than the free tutorials I do on YouTube. But up on my channel, what you'll be able to see for free, I plan on making how-to scripting, your basic engine plugin stuff, or your engine stuff. So it's going to be a really easy version. It's going to ease you into using more code into MV. So it's going to teach you some very, very basic JavaScript. It probably won't help you, Robert. You probably know everything I'm going to be talking about. Maybe Skullboneslayer too. But you know what? Actually, it might help you, Skullbones, because you said you wanted to learn more about how you understand JavaScript, but you want to learn more how the MV engine utilizes JavaScript and the syntax. And I know for me, it was really hard to figure out all the syntax, and I still have a lot of trouble with the syntax. But as I learn more,
everything.
yeah,
Everything is different for everything you use. Like I said earlier, one of the languages I know is Bucket. Bucket is mainly it's like MV. It's mainly Java, but it's got all those little terms that you need to know.
right. Yeah, so basically that's it. I'm just gonna do another series, a Udemy course, and then the regular special request. Send me your comments, you know, your suggestions, what you want to see, and I'll help you figure it out.
Absolutely. And for myself, sorry, you'll be able to find my channel unless you're watching this there. At youtube.com/skullboneslayer, but the first skull, there's three L's in my name, SkullboneSlayer, but the first skull in my YouTube link has one L in skull. So that's where a lot of people get confused there. But if you go at that link, you'll be able to get to my channel. In the sorry, in the near future, I hope to begin some plugin tutorials. I'm going to be continuing my basic RPG Maker MV tutorials. I'm going to be continuing this podcast. And I hope to do more. I don't know. I just want to get into plugin tutorials, so that way I can learn faster. Because I learn hands-on. I don't know how you guys learn best. You guys may learn by watching. I personally learn hands-on type, so I'm gonna be doing the tutorials to also help myself learn. And other than that, I think we should end it off there, so we don't keep dragging it out. Thank you all for watching this week. Sorry.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for watching.
and have a great day, and stay tuned next week.
Bye. 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 Bye.